And whenever you are ready, coming down onto the earth, onto your back, any comfortable position for you. Feel free to use props if you want, either to come underneath the knees or maybe underneath the shoulder and the head, whatever feels good for you. Oh, I see the dog. We all have animals with us today. Thursdays are animal yoga day. All right. Yes. So obviously, if we come into any kind of pose that doesn't feel good for you in your body, please come out. Come into any resting pose that feels good, and then join us again whenever you are ready. If I share any part of our practice that maybe doesn't resonate with you, feel free to allow my words to just pass by and tune into your breath. All right, so allow your breath to soften. Perhaps imagining a candle in front of your nose. And you don't want to blow out the candle. So just gentle breath. And as you breathe, notice where the breath is coming from inside of your body. Where does it start? Notice the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Do you feel a pause between the inhale and the exhale? Or maybe a pause between the exhale and the inhale. As you exhale, release your day. Release any thoughts you don't need. Even if it's just for this hour. So our class on the heart chakra, so the energy center at our heart area. So first, a quote by Oscar Wilde. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong journey. The heart chakra is located in and around the physical heart. She is the heart beneath the heart. She's untarnished, unhurt, unbroken, the part of us that is unharmed. She is compassion, mercy, love, kinship, and connection. All right, so first, a story. One day, a woman was walking down the street and a stranger bumped into her. She was furious. It was a hot day. She was busy, and now anger was pouring through her at how stupid and careless others were. She turned to the man to unleash her anger, and when she met his eyes, she realized he was blind. How could she be heartless to the blind, she thought in shame. How could she overreact without understanding the full picture? She immediately apologized and vowed to step beyond her anger by tuning into compassion. When we step out of our egos of anger, jealousy, and dislike, We can step into genuine feelings and acceptance for each other. When we remove the blind spots to our heart chakra, we can experience the faithful feeling that this chakra represents: unconditional love and respect for all beings. So as we move through our practice today, notice the sensations that come up in your heart area, in your chest area, and see if maybe you can allow yourself to open to love and compassion for yourself and for others. So from here, let's find some small movements in fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles. What movements are your body asking for, or is your body asking for? Okay, and then whenever you feel ready, bringing both feet to the earth, knees are bent. Let's bring the feet wide on the mat and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Whenever you're ready, allowing the knees to drop over towards the right side. Just notice the sensations that you feel, maybe along the left side of the body. Softening the shoulders to the earth. And return to your breath. That soft breath with the candle flame in front of your nose. Can you soften and release the body here? Release any tension, release any holding. And whenever you're ready, allowing the knees to windshield wiper back and forth a few more times. And then allowing your legs to drop over towards the left side. Again, if it's comfortable, keeping the feet wide on the mat. Noticing the sensations you feel along the right side of your body. And as we're here, let's breathe first into the diaphragm and then into the lungs. So inhaling into the diaphragm, allow it to fill completely, and then inhale all the way into the lungs, all the way up to the collarbone. And then exhale however it feels good for you to exhale. So continue here, a few more deep breaths in through the nose, into the diaphragm, rib cage expands, creating space. And then exhale, release. Whenever you're ready, allowing the knees to come back to center, windshield wiper the knees a few more times. Release any tension you feel in the back. Okay, and whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. So any comfortable seated position for you. And let's just find some seated cat-cow to begin. So rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. And then moving in the opposite direction, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Imagine a string pulling your heart up towards the sky. And just moving back and forth here at your own pace with your own breath. And really see if you can reach the rib cage or the heart center, up towards the sky. Find length. All right, one more time. And then we come back to center. And we're going to find a bit of a shoulder opener here. So still early in our practice, so take your time in this one. Walking feet are to the earth, walking your hands back as far as it feels comfortable. Fingers face away from you. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine. Kind of see if you can sink and settle here. And if you wish to find a little bit more stretch along the front of the shoulders, maybe you shimmy your sits bones down towards your feet. Shimmy. That's the word I chose. I don't know. So just a gentle stretch, nothing too much here. We're just preparing to find some heart openers here in our practice. One more round of breath. And then slowly making your way back up to seated. All right, so from seated here, we're going to come into a revolved knee to nose. So right leg comes out, left foot comes in. If you have a block and you wish to use it, feel free to grab it and place it somewhere on the inside of the right leg. Okay, so that's where our arm is going to go. If that's what you choose, arm can also go on the leg somewhere, or if it's in your body, onto the earth. So we're going to activate the right foot, curl back the toes. Left arm comes down onto the block or the leg. We're going to roll the left shoulder open. So we're kind of opening the rib cage already up towards the sky. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is it for you, or maybe you reach the left arm up and over, find length along the left side. Again, early in our practice, so be gentle here. May not go very far. And see if you can find length here along the left side. So I kind of wonder what we all think when someone says find length. What does that mean to you? For me, it means reach the rib cage away from the body to feel more length. I don't know. All right, one more round of breath here. Then we're going to bring that left hand down towards the earth by our side. Be mindful of the block, and we're going to come on up onto the left knee if it's comfortable. If not, just reaching the right arm up and over. So up onto the left knee, reach the right arm up, and then maybe you find some circles in that top arm. What feels good? What feels joyful and playful and open? And then very slowly coming back down. Let's find that revolved nose to knee once again. So arm comes down, palm faces up, roll that left shoulder open to open the rib cage. Maybe you stay here, maybe you reach up and over. Inhale back to center, left hand to the earth, right arm reaches up. Maybe you come up onto that left knee one more time. Find movements that feel good. Notice how different it feels this time. And then gently lowering to the earth. Then we're going to make our way over to the other side. Left leg out, right leg in. Activating the left foot. Forearm comes down to your proper leg. Right shoulder rolls back. Open the rib cage up towards the sky as much as you comfortably can. And if it feels good in that top shoulder, bringing the right arm up and over. This first one always feels sticky. If it doesn't feel good to look up, look down. Just try and keep the rib cage open. One more round of breath here. And then inhale to center, right hand to the earth, left arm up. Maybe you come up onto that right knee. What feels good here? What movements, or maybe it's stillness? How can you feel the rib cage open in this pose? Gently lowering back down. Revolve nose to knee. Left foot is active. Left forearm comes down, rotating the right shoulder open. Reach up and over. Notice how maybe it feels less sticky now that you're doing it again. I'm going to need a thesaurus. Sticky. It works. Find length along the right side. And then the last one, we come up, right hand to the earth, left arm reaches up. Maybe you come on your knee, maybe you don't. Maybe you find movement or stillness. And exhale to lower. All right, let's come into tabletop pose. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And find some cat-cow. Rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. And then moving in the opposite direction, tailbone points up towards the sky, heart shines through. Just moving at your own pace with your own breath. As you come into your cat pose, see if you can grip your fingers into the earth and send the spine up towards the sky. So Thursdays, bring your pet to yoga day, and mine already wants out. So a couple more rounds of breath here. Good. All right, and then we're going to come back to our tabletop pose. And we're going to find a gate pose. So right foot comes out to the side. It's going to look kind of familiar. We kind of came into this sort of thing on the floor, very similar. So right foot to the side. So it's up to you. Maybe the foot comes to the earth, parallel to the short edge of the mat. If that's too much for you, maybe you bend into the right knee, send the toes out to the right side. All right, we're going to bring our hands back towards our left thigh and come on up, bring the arms out to the side. Okay, and then we're going to find our gate pose. So right hand comes down, left arm reaches up and over. Maybe that right hand slides down. Just try not to put pressure on your knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand to the earth, right hand reaches high. Maybe it reaches towards the front of the mat, palm faces down. All right, draw the belly button in, use the core to help you come back up to center. We're going to come over into our gate. And then back to center, over into that variation of a side plank. Bringing the arms back up one more time, use your core. And then bringing the hands down to the earth, come into tabletop. And we'll switch to the other side. Left leg out. Walk the hands back, come on up. Arms out to the sides. Find your gait. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, right hand down. Maybe that left hand reaches towards the front of the mat, palm down. Can you slowly and with control make your way back up and then over into your gait. Inhaling to center, last one. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Left arm reaches up or over. Inhaling back to center, nice and controlled. Exhaling, hands to the earth, into your tabletop pose. We're going to give our knees a break by coming into downward dog. So a reminder to grip your fingers into the earth, shoulders roll back and down the spine. And the objective is to send the hips back, not necessarily up very far, as much of a bend in your knees as you need. Perhaps you find movement here in the feet, in the hips. That feels good for you. Release any tension you feel in your neck. One more round of breath. And then we're going to shift our way back into our tabletop pose and find a puppy or heart melting pose. So hips stay over top of the knees and then walking the arms out long. Melt the heart down towards the earth. Perhaps the forehead comes down to the earth to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say challenging, but maybe to add a little more, maybe the chin comes to the earth rather than the forehead. Softening the heart down. Feel your breath in your rib cage. All right, one more round of breath. And then making your way back into your tabletop pose. Curling the toes under, sending the hips back behind you, downward dog. All right, then let's make our way towards the front of our mat into a forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. Release any tension you feel in your neck. Maybe you sway from side to side. How much of a bend in your knees do you need to feel comfortable here? All right, let's bring the hands to the hips. Find length in the spine, send the crown of the head forward, and then come on up with a flat back. Okay, I think we've done this once before in class. So we're going to do breath of joy. So in our breath of joy, it's 3 parts in our breath. So we inhale 3 times. It's inhale like a third of the way, then 2/3 of the way, then all the way, and then we let it out. And we bring a little bit of movement into it as well. So as we inhale the first time, we breathe in a third of the way, bring the arms forward. The second breath, second third of the breath, arms come out to the side. And then the full breath, arms reach up towards the sky. And then we release it back behind us, bend in the knees, ha. Or however it feels good to let it go, okay? So I'm gonna go through it with you for a few more times, or for a few times. So 1/3 of the breath in, reach forward. 2/3 reach out, all the way reach up, And exhale, let it go. Inhale, arms reach forward. Inhale to the side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, arms forward. Inhale to the side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Last one I'll walk through. Inhale forward. Inhale side. Inhale up. Exhale. Okay, continue at your own pace. And as you throw the arms back behind you, make sure you find a bend in the knees. As you come up, see if you can come up with a flat back. Okay, so do one more. And then the next time you finish, or when you finish, you fold forward and stay there in your forward fold. All right, so in our forward fold, options here, arms can dangle, maybe grab a hold of opposite elbows. Or if it's in your body, clasping your hands behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down the spine, extending the arms up towards the sky. Release any tension in the neck. Exhale to release the hands down towards the earth. And then take a big step back with the right foot, lowering the right knee to the earth. Squeezing the inner thighs to rise. Low lunge. So eventually we're going to make our way into a camel pose. So this is a nice warm up for camel. Sink and settle here, soften the shoulders. And then if it's in your body, finding a slight tuck of the tailbone, either cactus arms or hands clasped behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down. And then we all open the heart up towards the sky. One more round of breath. And then inhale, bringing the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, come into tabletop and into downward dog. Fill the rib cage with breath. Create space in the rib cage around the heart. And then making your way towards the front of your mat once again into a forward fold. Again, find the variation that feels good for you. If you clasp your hands behind your back, find the opposite clasp from what is natural. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, arms reach high. Softening the neck. Finding your breath. On your next exhale, release the hands towards the earth, bend in the knees. Big step back with the left foot, lowering the left knee to the earth, squeezing the inner thighs to rise. Right knee's over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Again, if you wish, a back bend, slight tuck of the tailbone, then either cactus arms or clasp the hands, find the opposite clasp. Shoulders roll back and down. Open the heart up towards the sky. So that string is pulling it high. All right, inhale, arms reach back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Let's make our way into a tabletop pose. And then we're going to come back into kneeling. Okay, so it's up to you here whether you want to kneel all the way down or if you wish to find blocks to kind of prop you up a little bit, coming underneath the sits bones. All right, so also front of the foot here up into the shin. If this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to curl the toes under. Feet will cramp after a little while, but there's an option there for you as well. Okay, so we're here in kneeling. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, turning to your left and then allowing your arms to come down by your sides. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turning to the right, arms come by your sides or down. I guess they're not up by your sides anymore. Inhale to center, moving with your own breath. Exhale to turn. Let's do one more. All right, inhale, reach the arms back to center. Exhale, arms come down by the sides. We're gonna move our way into our tabletop pose. And then shifting your weight forward, tuck your elbows and lower all the way to the earth. Okay, we're gonna find a baby cobra, shoulders roll back and down the spine, tuck the elbows, reach each leg away, and then place the tops of the feet to the earth. Lift the heart and look down at the earth so you have a nice straight line in your spine. Perhaps you lift the hands up off the earth. Use the strength in your back to hold you up. And then exhale to lower. Let's make our way back into our tabletop pose. And this time come back into child's pose. So what variation is your body asking for? Maybe the arms are out long, or maybe bringing the hands back by the feet, palms face up, feeling the shoulders roll towards the earth. One more round of breath. And then you're gonna make your way back to kneeling. This time though, we're gonna come all the way up onto the knees. Curling the toes under if that feels good for you. Okay, so I know there's another name for this, but I saw this in a yoga book and they're calling it zombie camel. Okay, which is just hilarious to me. So we're gonna bring our arms out in front. This is where the zombie comes in. You're gonna draw the navel in and you're gonna try and keep a straight line from the knee to the crown of the head. And then slowly lean back part of the way. So you're using your core to hold you up. You may also feel a stretch here along the fronts of the thighs. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to lean back. Find a couple rounds of breath here. So try to find a slight tuck of the tailbone, squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, back to center. So everything's nice and stiff. Exhale, last one, come back. Zombie camel. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, come into your tabletop. Shift your weight forward, tuck the elbows and lower. All right, Sphinx pose, forearms to the earth, elbows underneath the shoulders, arms are parallel to each other. Reaching the legs away, tops of the feet to the earth, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Energetically draw the arms in towards the chest to allow the heart to come through. So trying not to collapse in on the arms. We don't want the shoulders up by the ears. We want to push the arms into the earth so that we can lift the upper body. Notice what you feel in your back, and then maybe you make adjustments with your feet. Could be toes together, heels apart. Maybe you play around with how wide or how close you want your feet to be together. One more round of breath. Actually, let's do a couple more than one. Continue breathing. And then exhale to lower. Let's make our way into a tabletop pose. Curl the toes under, come back into downward dog. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, up to you. You can stay in downward dog, or you can follow me here. Left leg reaches up towards the sky, three-legged dog. You can go as far as you want in this too. Perhaps you bend the left knee and open the hips towards the left side, squaring the shoulders once again towards the earth. Maybe you find circles in the ankle or in the hip. Perhaps you pivot on the right foot and then slowly allow the left foot to drop back behind you onto the earth. Push the hips in up to the sky. Left arm reaches up somewhere. Maybe even back behind you. All right, slowly making your way back into downward dog. Shifting your weight forward into your plank pose. And then drop the knees, tuck the elbows lower all the way to the earth. Okay, here's a new one. So we're going to come into kind of a variation here of, I don't know, like a locust pose. So we're going to reach the legs back long behind us, tops of the feet to the earth. Shoulders roll back and down, look down at the earth. Okay, then bringing the hands by the sides of the head, lift the heart. Okay, exhale, lower the heart. Inhale, as you lift the heart, rotate the rib cage towards the left. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, rotate the rib cage towards the right. Exhale to lower. Maybe you're just lifting the head up towards the sky, or maybe you're finding that rotation. Continue moving at your own breath. Maybe it feels better to exhale as you lift. Continue pushing the tops of the feet down towards the earth. We're gonna do a few more. You might be feeling this in like the low back, maybe even mid back or upper back for the shoulders, where the way you're holding your arm. So see if you can find two more. Meaning, sorry, one more on each side. And then exhale to lower. Crocodile pose. Hands come underneath the forehead, bringing the feet wide on the mat. And maybe you point the toes out towards the sides. All right, soften your body here. Notice where you feel your breath. Can you still fill your rib cage with air? Maybe you can imagine filling the back of the rib cage with your breath. One more round of breath. Slowly walking your feet back in. Gently making your way into a tabletop pose. Find any movements your body's asking for. C shape, figure eight, in and out of child's pose. I don't know what you're feeling, only you know, so find what feels good. Great. When your back feels relaxed, let's find one more child's pose. And take a moment here just to soften the body. Feel the breath. Release any thoughts that you don't need. Release any anger, jealousy, dislike. And then step into a feeling of acceptance. Acceptance for where you are right now in life, in your practice. Acceptance for who you are right now. And maybe acceptance of those around you. One more round of breath. And then we're going to make our way back to kneeling. All right, so our camel pose, lots of options here for variations depending on what feels good for you in your body. If you have a couple of blocks, maybe bringing the blocks by your side, placing them at a higher setting into a place where you'll be able to reach them probably like close to the shin or something, maybe the ankle. Okay, you'll notice as you put them back behind you where you can reach. They're gonna come up onto the knees. All right, up to you. Feet can be down or toes could be curled under. And we'll start off with a gentle camel to begin. So we want to squeeze the inner thighs like we do in mountain pose. Find a slight tuck of the tailbone. Our camel is coming from that heart center once again. So that string pulling the heart up towards the earth. So gentle to begin, we'll bring the hands towards the sacrum here, below the low back, roll the shoulders back and down the spine, tuck the elbows in. And we're gonna try and keep the hips down to the knees straight. Okay, so opening that heart up once again towards the sky. This could be enough. Try not to allow the head to drop all the way back and try not to crunch the chin in towards the chest. We want like a grapefruit underneath the chin. We're going to take 2 more rounds of breath. This is our first camel. And then squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes, come back up to center. Find your tabletop and find movements that your body's asking for. Nice and slow. I like child's pose, but for some people, that's just too far the opposite direction. So what feels good? All right. And then gently coming back to kneeling again, if you wish, toes curled under, maybe feet flat. Squeezing the inner thigh, slight tuck of the tailbone. Again, we open the heart up towards the sky. Try to keep the hips over top of the knees. And then maybe start to send the hands back towards the box. Keep sending the hips forward. They're going to want to go back. Send the hips forward to open the heart up further. If it's in your practice, maybe hands come down towards your ankles. Send the hips forward. The great thing about being on camera is you can check real quick, see what it looks like. All right, squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes, and then slowly make your way back up. Find your way into a tabletop pose. All right, let's shift the weight forward, tuck the elbows and lower. Let's find crocodile pose again. Sorry, you may have to push the blocks out of the way with your legs. Toes point out towards the sides, hands come underneath the forehead. Softening the back. If you're feeling a lot of discomfort here in the back, maybe instead of crocodile, you can bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Sometimes that makes or encourages the back to relax. Sometimes it doesn't. Everyone's different. Okay, so you take your time here and make your way over, if you wish, onto your back. If you're comfortable on your front body, feel free to stay there. Maybe there's another pose you want to come into. What do you need? We have about a minute, and then we have a meditation. Okay, whenever you're ready, finding a comfortable place on the earth. Again, as you breathe, maybe you breathe in to the diaphragm and then into the rib cage. Allow it to expand, create space. Exhale, however it feels comfortable. All right, so I've done this meditation a couple times in class. You may have done it with me already. And it's Ho'oponopono. The Ho'oponopono meditation is part of a larger Hawaiian ritual of forgiveness, gratitude, and love. By committing yourself to the words, either internally or externally, you are taking a brave step towards your personal healing and therefore the healing of the world. We are part of an intimate and delicate connection to everyone and everything. When we take responsibility, forgive, thank, and love others, we remember we are not separate and we make peace with the world. Whatever you're holding on to, let it be released into the words of this prayer. And as you repeat it over and over, feel the powerful energy within the words. Release, purify, and uplift your being. So I invite you to bring your attention to your physical heart. Feel how it is being cushioned here by the lungs. And now draw your attention to the bone of the heart, the sternum. The next time you inhale, imagine that you are directly breathing into the sternum, maybe into the heart. With each breath, you feel the chambers of the heart. Like a life raft, your heart becomes fuller and lighter. Continue breathing like this through the breastbone into your heart, inflating all four chambers. As you breathe slowly, your heartbeat becomes less urgent. Each new breath enhances your capacity to give and receive love. And then listen to my words and silently repeat them to yourself if you wish. I am sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And the last time, I am sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Perhaps you continue repeating these words to yourself over and over until you feel as if they have become part of you. And let the energy of these words permeate your heart and your being. And feel the vibration of what you have created. Gently bringing your awareness back into your space. Perhaps finding some movements here in the body, what feels right for you. Whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. As you breathe in, create space in your rib cage for love and compassion. As you exhale, draw that energy into your heart space. Inhale, love and self-compassion. Exhale, draw it in. Last time, inhale, love, self-compassion. Fill the rib cage, fill the body, the rib cage, everything. And exhale, draw it in towards the heart. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me this evening. Have a beautiful night.